Autism is a lifelong developmental disability and it affects how people communicate and interact with the world. There's about 1 in 100 people who are affected with autism, and today's video I'm going to be talking about some hidden signs which may be related to autism or high-functioning autism. So the first sign is how they act in certain social situations. So people with autism do have some difficulties. There may be an inability to understand or relate to the social group, and they may have difficulty getting along with them. This can manifest in different ways. For example, they may act overly mature in certain situations and not be comfortable comprehending sarcasm, playful jokes, or the hyperactive behavior of people their own age. And it's very common in children to notice this, that they may not be able to get along with other children on this basis. Another sign of autism is above average intelligence, especially compared to those of their own age. And now this is fantastic because those commonly with autism generally have the ability to perform very well in school. They're able to think more logically about their answers, and often this high intelligence can be overlooked, and sometimes it may not be noted as the person has autism, but this is one of the key features. Another hidden sign of autism is having a brief attention span. Because those with autism have a heightened sensory perception, they may find themselves dissociating or their mind going elsewhere. This can be very common in the classroom. Because there's so many things stimulating them, because they sometimes overthink, they can sometimes forget to be present in the current situation, and it may lead to dissociating or having a brief attention span. Those with autism can have some sensory issues, so they may be sensitive to noise, taste, touch, and certain movements. If they are overstimulated by these sensory perceptions, then they can be irritable and sometimes may lash out, and this can be very common when they're tired. Another sign of autism, especially in children, could be delayed initial speech. So compared to their peers, they may not be able to talk or communicate as well. There is definitely a noted delay in the development of speech, but generally the functional communication does develop later on, but it is delayed, so that's something also to keep an eye out for. Another sign of autism could be the person affected. They may act differently and feel fearful of social situations, so you may find they may be more reserved. Sometimes they can be overly obsessive about cleanliness and their own appearance, and although this can be common to an extent, it's considered sometimes to be a bit obsessive, or ritualistic is the word. So those are some main signs of autism which you may be unaware of. It's important to monitor your child from a young age, to keep an eye out for these symptoms and just do your best to encourage them as best as you can as a parent. Seeking advice from a therapist or seeking advice from a doctor is always good to do early. And although there isn't necessarily any treatment for autism, if it's managed well from the beginning, then those with autism can be very high functioning. So you've made it to the end of the video. If you've made it to the end, leave a 100 emoji so I know you've made it to the end. If you have any questions about autism, then leave a comment below. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and thank you for watching.